I have seen many releases over the years from World Wrestling Entertainment, but never have I seen the company catch this much heat or receive this much backlash like they're currently receiving from parting ways with 53-year-old Ron Killings. R-Truth. Fans and talent, not just heartbroken, but furious with the company. That's right, I said talent as well. Not just heartbroken, but the talent is furious with their own company. And for justified reasons. Ron Killings was not just another spoke on the wheel. R-Truth was not just another superstar that's been there for a long time. He's older now. You got the good out of him. Now kick him to the curb like tomorrow's garbage. No. Don't be shocked. This company should not be shocked when fans and talent saw right through that bullshit. You can do that for a lot of your superstars because you book them in a way that makes them so damn irrelevant, no name value and no name recognition whatsoever, so by the time you kick them to the curb, it's not a big deal. And they thought they could pull that with R-Truth, swipe it underneath the rug, it'll make a little noise, but not that much. But instead, it is just picking up traction as hours go by. Every major publication and big media outlet is covering this story for justified reasons. Because you book somebody like R-Truth to be your backstage clown for years, your circus sideshow, and he did everything that company asked him to do. Anything and everything. They say jump, he said how high. He dressed up as a Christmas tree, to a garbage can, to a ninja. If you needed R-Truth to fulfill that comedy role, he would do such. And what we all knew, the talent and fans, is that Ron Killings is so much more than just a sideshow comedy act. He's talented. He can put storylines on his back. Clearly good on the microphone. Let the dude rock in so many areas. The truth is that on these boring Raws and on these boring SmackDowns, 3 hours or 2.5 hours of primetime television where the content puts you to sleep because it is lazy, it is redundant, it is boring, it is bad television. That's what Raw and SmackDown has become. That's the truth. Many won't be that truthful with you, but BC will be. No sugarcoating, no bullshit. These shows suck today. There are no more larger-than-life characters. There's no stories that we care about. No feuds that get us to the edge of our seats. But every single or every other Monday night or Friday night, R-Truth would be the glimmer, that glimmer of light at that dark tunnel. Maybe for a moment would make you laugh. There was many Mondays or Fridays where R-Truth would be the only good part of the damn show. And that's telling you something, because it was usually just 40 seconds in the back with some stupid jokes. But because it's R-Truth, and he's so wildly entertaining, he would be the best part of this pro wrestling show. This company truly thought that it was just going to part ways with R-Truth and the fans were just going to get over it. It's not a big deal. The talent was going to not speak out of turn, not ruffle any feathers. They will get over it as well. His friends backstage in that locker room. It's not a big deal. These type of things happen because it's business. And this company found out it's business till you cross the line. And there are some people that just demand more respect because they have done everything for you and that company. So respect is a prerequisite, not a request. That's why fans and that's why his fellow talent is pissed off today. Because that's a line you don't cross as a company. This company doesn't respect R-Truth. That is beyond obvious. Hunter Hearst Helmsley has zero respect for R-Truth. You see that through his actions, not by words. And because he has zero respect for people like R-Truth, don't be shocked when people like MVP or Bobby Lashley and others say they have zero respect for Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Paul Levesque, McMahon. Do you want to know what Paul Levesque, McMahon was posting, what he was talking about while all this was unfolding yesterday? Do you know what Paul Levesque McMahon was posting up and talking about? Congratulations to Tyrese Halliburton. He's congratulating the Indiana Pacers superstar Tyrese Halliburton. The fuck does that have to do with WWE? Or what the fuck? R-Truth, the whole wrestling world is heartbroken and furious about this decision. Everybody is giving some kind words and motivation and strength over the truth. And don't worry, dude, there's much more ahead of you. And something could have been said. Your own writer, Road Dogg, even put up a message that actually slammed Hunter Helmsley, by the way, to the point where he had to delete that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Oh yeah, that's a real thing. Even his own suits and ties were reaching out to truth and posting. Helmsley, you talk about being tone deaf. You talk about reading the room. If your excuse is, well, BC, I mean, he's the one who made the ultimate decision, obviously. He's the one who made the decision, so it's odd if he posts about it or says anything the truth, you know? It's like, hey, you're fired, and then put up a post saying, hey, man, this sucks. I just heard the news. You're the one who did it. Okay, so read the room. For just a few fucking hours, how about you don't post anything? What a wild concept. Read the fucking room. You would only do something like that if you were intentionally giving a fuck you to R-Truth and everybody that has a problem with this. In the middle of all this justified outrage, the whole wrestling world is like, what is happening? And this dude is like, congratulations, Tyrese, on your big win over the Knicks. You're going to the finals. That's all he wants. This is to save money, right? Oh, we have to trim the fat, man. R-Truth's been there for a while. We don't think he's anything more than a comedy act, so we're going to save the money. Do you know where that money's going? He wants Tyrese Halliburton to be on his Monday Night Raw. Skinny little Sanderson. Let's give him a boatload of money. Because he's a celebrity. He's a big sports star. And that's all Helmsley wants. He wants to rub shoulders with the celebs and the top sports stars. It's absolute bullshit, man. And don't be shocked when eventually you cross the line and fans and your own talent sees through the bullshit. We have seen release after release after release, rounds of releases. We've seen releases where 100 humans have been fired, released, or not re-signed, including Suits and Ties and Stanford. We have seen this time and time again, and it all goes under the rug after just, 72 hours? Because it's business as usual. That's all we say, right? It's just business. That's how business is conducted. People come in, people gotta go out. It's an ever-revolving door. It's the Ferris wheel, and it goes round and round. But eventually you get rid of the wrong person and you absolutely crush the morale from within. And you absolutely implode a community where still to this day a lot of people blow smoke up Hunter Hearst Helmsley's ass. And they say he can do no wrong. If it's good, it had to have been Helmsley. If it's bad, it was TKO. It was The Rock. Let's blame The Rock. Nobody wants to blame Hunter Hearst Helmsley these days. When these releases happen, it's hilarious. You know what they say? Why is everybody blaming Hunter? It's TKO. Who do you think TKO is? Who do you think is the chief of content, the chief of talent, and the chief of all programming? Who do you think is the producer? Do you see the names that pop up at the end of every show? They got to make sure that you know who's producing this. Lee Fitting and Paul Levesque McMahon. Do you honestly think Helmsley has no say on who's leaving the company and who's entering the company? Who's being released and who's coming into WWE? He's got no say. He's the chief of everything, supposedly, but he has no say. His hands are tied. TKO is ruining it, BC. Stop. He is the sole decision maker. He is the final say. He says, I can do without this person, I can do without that person, I would like that person. Nick Khan's in on some of the convos. Then the numbers guys come in, they break it all down, they talk contracts. But it's Hunter Hearst Helmsley. No, BC, his hands are tied, it's TKO. Who do you think TKO is? Hunter Hearst Helmsley. If you think Ari Emanuel and Nick Khan are sitting around going through the roster going, hey, let's get rid of this person, let's get rid of this person, they have different type of jobs. They're much higher on the food chain. Helmsley decides every single wrestler you see on that roster. Remember that. Remember that. Everybody you see on that roster coming in or being released or not re-signed, everybody there now, everybody who's going to be there, everybody who was there, Hunter Hearst Helmsley's decision. If you need more proof of that, you can just check out all their dirt sheets within the last several hours. They're confirming that it was Paul Levesque McMahon's decision, just like they did the last round of reporting. The last round of releases, that was the reports. I obviously don't need those reports. BC broke that to you because that's common sense and logic. But if you do need the dirt sheets for a fact check or as a double verified source, well, there you go. The dirt sheets are even saying the same thing because they're hearing the same thing. But I don't need to hear that. I don't need to look for that information anywhere. That's obvious. It's Hunter Hearst Helmsley. None of these moves would happen and Helmsley has no fucking idea or has no say. You think people went up and said, hey, we're getting rid of R-Truth, and he's like, no, please, no. And they're like, sorry, Paul, we got to do it. No, come on, man. I actually have him in some big storylines. Nope, sorry, Paul. Or do you think when he was looking up at the lights to John Cena and when he was looking up at the lights to J.C. Mateo of all people, you think this decision was already made by the guy who's putting the shows together? And he had no say? No, he's too busy trying to schmooze it up with all the celebrities and the big sports stars. So somebody beloved like R-Truth, he is more than okay to get rid of, like he's just another wrestler. Again, if he had been booked properly and not treated as just the sideshow joke, if there was more respect that we saw R-Truth given over the years, maybe we could just go, he's 53 and man, he's done it all and the company, I guess, just wants to move on. Even then, somebody like R-Truth, you give a backstage role if he wants it. There is Tamina Snuka on the roster. Tamina Snuka is on the roster. You guys should check it out. It's on the current public page roster sheet. It's for everybody to see. Tamina is a part of the current roster. Tamina Snuka. But you get rid of R-Truth. How under the sun on the planet is that even thinkable? How is that imaginable? That you would be giving Tamina Snuka a paycheck, but you got to get rid of R-Truth? And you wonder why fans and talent are shocked, furious, heartbroken, because the decisions these companies make, this company, WWE, makes, it's stupid. It never makes sense. We want to say it's just business so we can feel good about it. This is what businesses do. But you look at the actual decisions being made, and they're stupid. Let's not give our wrestlers proper booking, then fire them, release them, not re-sign them, so we can take that money and give it to big sports celebs or celebrities in totality, which do nothing for the business. Numbers have shown you that you never get a rub from a celebrity or a sports star. But Hunter loves being around them. Makes himself and WWE feel more prestigious. So he thinks. I've gone long enough. Way more than I thought I was going to say. I was just going to go over some quotes from a lot of his friends in that locker room, man. Fellow talent that is still there. But a lot more to say about it, man, because, yesterday when we broke this story, it was just breaking. Now we've all had a chance to really, let it sink in, comprehend it. And it's bigger than just R-Truth. It's the problem within this company. And finally, it's really cool. The community finally said enough. I was flipping out when Bray Wyatt got released. You guys remember that? And I still to this day can't fathom that. But even then, I never saw backlash like this. This is when somebody is so beloved and deserves so much respect. That's how I felt about Bray, but that didn't even garner this. But Bray wasn't there for that long either. That Truth was, so maybe that's another reason, you know? R-Truth more than paid the dues. So I think it's the way that it was done. If the company wants to part ways, that's their choice, you know? The business is business. But the way that they did it, how they went about it, is so filthy. And it's just, Truth, absolutely, I hate the word deserves, but he deserves way more than that. And it's mind-boggling how this all went down. So yeah, it's heartbreaking, yes, but it's frustrating. It's shocking. It's all these things. And this is the first time that I've seen the community stand up as one and finally say, dude, no. I wouldn't be shocked if they bring him back, if they're forced to, because Hunter doesn't like the dude, that's obvious. He doesn't care for him, man. You guys know that. But this may be a decision where they're like, dude, we fucked up. We have to do the right thing. Could you imagine if Truth goes back? If you're Truth, would you want to? Knowing that your boss, Hunter Helmsley, feels that way about you and can cut you like you're trash, like nothing. Would you want to work for somebody like that? It's very, I don't know, man. There's still a lot of questions. Like I said, Carlito is also not being re-signed. He's got about 2 weeks left. He's most likely going to be kept off TV. They didn't do anything with Carlito. They tried to make him a sideshow backstage as well. And I guess they're just trying to move away from the comedy. I mean, what they were producing wasn't funny as it is. If it was just because R-Truth and Carlito are naturally funny. Because the content they were given was absolute trash. But I guess they just want to, it's easier if you just produce a bunch of matches. You don't have to create stories. Even the comedy segments took a moment to be creative or semi. So they don't want the right, just create matches, fill up your shows, meet all your obligations to the USA Network and to Netflix, and move on to the next show. Raise your prices for all the events. Hope the fans keep whipping out their credit cards, keep giving them the bare minimum of content in return. So they're paying more and you're giving them less. And you wonder why finally the community has had enough. I'll say it. I said it before. I'll say it again. There were many weeks, many shows where R-Truth was the only good part of the show for some bullshit, not even that funny 30-second backstage segment. Truth probably just made it funny. And that's who you're getting rid of? Maybe the talent backstage and the fans, they're so furious because they see how pathetic this company has gotten. TKO is running this company into the ground, sadly. And Hunter Helmsley is running the ship right there with Nicholas Khan and the rest. Don't get it twisted. And they don't care because they're going to cash out. In 2 years, Saudi will own the whole company. Hunter Hearst Helmsley won't even be in that position. He would have cashed out millions and millions of dollars. They're not playing the long game anymore. They're cashing in now. So as easy as possible, that's what they want. If the shows are easier, if we don't have a lot of comedy backstage, we just put more matches, it's easier for us. Just make matches and we're done with it. Let's move to the next show. WrestleMania, why put it in a different city every year? Let's put it in Las Vegas every single year. Much easier for us. Better chance at the most money. It's not as fun for the fans, obviously. It's not as intriguing. It's not as special, but we can make the most money, and isn't that what it's all about? So Mania will just be a Vegas. It will be a residency every year. Guys, I can go on and on, man, but at this point, I feel like I'm just going round and round with different word verbiage, yet saying the same thing. So I just want to read you guys some of what the talent is saying about this, and they're not happy, they're heartbroken, they're furious, and I want to run by just some of what is being said in that locker room. Rhea Ripley says this: in all seriousness, this is literally so heartbreaking. Thank you, Truth. In all seriousness, this is literally heartbreaking. Kevin Owens. Man, heartfelt from Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens says, I've said this many times that there are few people in this industry for whom I have unlimited respect, love, and admiration for. R-Truth is at the very top of that list. An incredible, timeless performer with an unmatched ability to entertain and bring a smile to anyone he encounters. Be it the fans or every single person lucky enough to have had the privilege to work alongside him. His kindness, humility, and infectious good nature makes him one of the most beloved people I've ever met in this industry. And the void that his absence will leave in our locker room is immeasurable. Tell me how you really feel, Kevin Owens. Pat McAfee, I love R-Truth. It's guaranteed. Jay, when he's what's it say? It's guaranteed joy when he's a part of a segment. Thank you, Truth. There you go, Pat McAfee. Natalia says, you are a class act. You were amazing to me since day one when I met you doing my first independent show in the U.S. Last week, I loved seeing how excited you were for the championship match against John Cena. You remind everyone around the world not to lose that childlike wonder. I'm so proud to call you a friend for life. That's the one that hit kind of hard, right? When because, wrestlers been there for so long, you don't know if they're really kind of jaded to this. Oh, I'm getting a big moment. Okay. But Truth literally was excited when he got the news that he was going to take on John Cena, man. Maybe he was probably thinking this is the start of something good. I'm finally going to start getting something more. So Natalia says, last week I loved seeing how excited you were for the championship match against John Cena. He was so excited for that match. And a week later, he's being told, you're out of the company, sorry. Did they even say sorry? Who knows? Hunter Helmsley doesn't have a fucking moment to tell him why he was released or nothing. Then you had Zelina Vega. Zelina says, thank you, Truth, for everything. Everything you are as a performer, but also everything you are as a person. You always have an ear and a hug for everyone. You are always so kind to me. You're forever a star, a genius, and a pro, and someone whose presence will always be felt. You're cemented in history as one of the best. Love you. Chelsea Green says, R-Truth walked so I could run. Funniest man in wrestling. I can't wait to see what you do next. Adam Pierce. Thank you, Truth. I will always appreciate you. The Miz. Former Raw Tag title holder with R-Truth, by the way. Miz says, forming Awesome Truth with you was one of the best runs of my career. No one made me laugh harder. Your energy, heart, and smile lit up every room and every arena. You're not one of a kind. You're one in a lifetime. Love you, Truth. Keep shining. And that was from The Miz, man. Again, they had their moments for sure. That was still at a time where creative was just starting to get really rough. So it didn't reach its potential, but heartfelt by The Miz. Road Dogg. This is one of the suits and ties, a writer for Hunter Helmsley. And he got into some trouble, we believe, about this post. He actually deleted it. Road Dogg says, I am heartbroken. It's the nature of the beast. The part of the business that no one likes but the bean counters. I love Ron the Truth Killings, and I don't care who knows it. What a run. That last line caught many by surprise, as that seemed like it was intended to his higher-ups. His boss? Yeah, Hunter Helmsley. I love Ron the Truth Killings, and I don't care who knows it. Sure enough, not long after this was posted, it was subsequently deleted by Road Dogg. Not sure if James thought it was a bit much, or if the company brought the heat down on him and said, take that down. So that's wild, man. Hunter Hearst Helmsley was probably like, dude, WTF? We're supposed to be letting the dust settle and the smoke clear, not add fuel to the flames. Road Dogg took that down. And you know what's sad about that is Truth actually responded to that and said, like, thank you, dog, much love, or something like that. So Truth responded, but because that was deleted, I mean, nobody gets to... In that company, you can't speak how you truly feel. How sad is that, man? You know, when everyone thought that Vince McMahon had such a thumb on everybody, and everybody couldn't speak their minds or whatnot, man, the whole community was an outrage. But the truth is, you could, man. All these wrestlers went on their social doohickeys and they spoke exactly how they felt. Rusev telling you how he wasn't happy. Brody Lee telling you how he wasn't happy. Harper. FTR. Right? They were able to speak. In this company, if you do that, you are immediately punished. LA Knight is one of the rare dudes that does, and we see they don't give LA Knight anything. Weird mid-card runs for like a month or 5 weeks or whatever that nobody could possibly care about, sadly. They don't like when you speak your mind, man. Road Dogg tried to just give a nice salute over to Truth. Nope, can't do that. Jade Cargill mentioned Naomi in her post. This was kind of funny. Jade Cargill says, I hate this more than I hate you, meaning Naomi. So then Naomi responded, I hate we lost him and still have you. So that was actually some humor in that, but we know how close that Jade and Naomi was with Truth as well. And the list goes on, man. Even Cena put up a pic of R-Truth in his Ron Cena shirt from Saturday night's main event. Cena doesn't really do captions. He just puts up like pics, I guess. So that was his way to honor Truth. Because there's been some things that Cena doesn't like R-Truth, and maybe there's some truth to that, but I doubt very much John Cena had anything to do with R-Truth being not re-signed, guys. I don't think Cena gives a shit who's in that company right now. He's fulfilling his dates. He wants to give back one last time. Last few months that he's there and he's out. I doubt he's on this. He had a vendetta against R-Truth. So even Heath showed some homage, man, unlike Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who, as of this recording, still hasn't even acknowledged anything. He acting like business as usual, nothing. What's everyone talking about? What's the big deal? So we could go on and on, man. The whole community, even like Ricochet, I believe, even Ricochet, some AEW talent was, showing that love and support over to Truth. So that's what I mean, man. I think WWE finally crossed the line. Where is that line? We can do anything we want, and fans are just going to go, WWE is awesome. This is awesome. They're going to give us all their money. We're going to raise prices. They're going to give us more money whenever we do anything, any decision. They're going to still love us and blow smoke up our ass. And I think this was finally the line that they crossed, and the whole community was like, hold up, this ain't right, bro. Like, that's some straight up scumbag shit. That's not cool. Even people that blow smoke up Hunter Hearst Helmsley's ass 24/7 were like, hold up, Paul Levesque McMahon. Not so fast. That's wrong. You did him filthy. That's disrespect. I'm not supporting that. So pretty fucking cool. The one good thing to come out of this is that we've all had enough finally. The product sucks. I wish more people were honest about that. But truthfully, I think there are a lot of kids kind of watching, and that's kind of what a lot of this is aimed toward. So they're willing to accept anything. They drag out their parents, and they just want to cheer with their kids. So, you'll yeet for 20 minutes. Seth Rollins is a heel, but you don't care. The song is catchy, so you're going to sing along with Seth. 2 minutes into a match, if they sell for a minute and you feel like you got to be doing something, the crowd will just break out in a "this is awesome" chant. They just want to participate. I understand. But I wish more people were honest with the company that the product sucks. And that way they could maybe listen and make it better. But the Monday Night Raws, the Friday Night SmackDowns, at least one Saturday or Sunday out of the month, these shows put you to sleep. They're lazy. They're redundant. They're straight up boring. They're just bad. I miss all of the larger-than-life characters. I miss the storylines we cared about, the feuds that had you at the edge of your seat. I miss people that made you feel something, or at least a laugh, in an otherwise gloomy show. And R-Truth did a lot of that. That's what I got for you guys, man. Again, I don't want to run in circles with the same word verbiage, man. But, again, much love over to R-Truth. He's going to be fine. He's beloved. Again, I don't know. I mean, does he go to like an AEW or something? And is it realistic if he's having matches with like Will Ospreay and Hangman and Ricochet? We know he's got the talent to do it. But has WWE succeeded in their mission to just make him a circus sideshow, and that's all he is? That's what they wanted to portray him as. So it's much easier when they get rid of him. Or can another company finally bring out like all the qualities that R-Truth, even at 53, still possesses? It's going to be interesting, man. I think there's a lot of good still to come. And wouldn't it be something if he winds up back in WWE because the backlash, the heat in the kitchen, reached a degree that they had no choice, man. They had no choice but to do the deed and do the right thing and re-sign Truth. Wouldn't that be wild? And if that does happen, not just you don't book him the way you have, you finally start being creative. You start booking correctly, and it should not end with R-Truth. Trust me. You should start looking at the entire roster and go, let's start having fun. Let's start getting creative. Let's start booking properly. And let's start giving our talent true respect. Everybody says that's just business. That's just business. You know what the best businesses possess from the top? Respect. Doing the right thing still has to be a part of your business model. BC Amplified. Until next time, and there will be that next time. 44 dive, that's a wrap. Check you. Unit, salute.